Hey everyone, this is Joel at Hamina. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get up and running using Hamina Network Planner Lite as quickly as possible. Now, Hamina Network Planner Lite is free. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't even have to give us a credit card number or anything like that. You can just sign up, log in, and start using it right away. So let's do that. So I am at hamina.com, and I'm going to go to the blue sign up button in the upper right-hand corner. And then now we'll need to pick which instance we want to create an account on. Now, your account will only exist on one instance or the other, and the two instances don't talk to each other at all. They're basically two separate copies of Hamina. You can't share projects between them. If you make a team and have like team members that share projects back and forth, you all need to be on the same instance. And if you buy the product, your subscription only exists on one instance or the other. So be sure to choose the right one. So I'm going to go for the EU instance. And now we're going to type in our email address. So I'm going to do Joel plus Yukon Gold at potatofy.com. Just using a wildcard there since I have a few Hamina accounts already. And I'm going to send myself a verification code. So I'm going to go check my email and grab that verification code, and I'll be right back. All right, I've got my verification code, so I'll paste it in and click verify code. And now we can finish creating the account. So I'm going to have 1Password make a password for me. And we'll fill in some information here, like my first name, last name, and country, which is currently Finland. And what do I do in relation to wireless networks? Maybe IT management. And the name of my company is PotatoFi Wireless. And how many network engineers work here? Wireless engineers, just one, just me. And how did I hear about us? I work at Hamina. Okay, so I want to stay up to date, so send me some spam. We try not to spam you, we really do. And I'm going to click I am human, and we'll hit continue. And just like that, now we are in Hamina and ready to go. So let's just start a blank project. So I'm going to click start a blank project really quick, and I'm going to call this one school. And I'm going to switch the environment type to a school or college or university. And we'll click save. And now I'm going to bring in a floor plan. So, but before we do that, there's something special that I want to do. I want to enable the automatic wall tracing beta. This is really important because it speeds things up a lot. So here's how to do that. Go up here to the preferences menu and click on preferences, and then go to the beta features option and check enable automatic scale, scope, and wall tracing beta. So I'm going to check that. And now we will have Hamina draw the walls automatically using machine learning. I'll show you. It's pretty cool. So I'll bring in a map. So we'll just click on that. And I'm going to go find this school. So there we go. School.jpg. You could use JPEGs, PNGs, pretty much any common image type will work. And since we have that automatic scale, scope, and wall tracing beta enabled, Hamina just found our scale automatically. So you see it automatically figured out what the scale is. And now if we go to the wall tool, notice there's this little sparkle happening next to the walls. That means that Hamina automatically traced the walls in for us. So we'll click on that, and I'm going to accept all the walls that it found. So we'll click accept. And there we go. We can even click on the 3D button and see all of our walls in 3D, just like that. So now that we've got the walls in there, the next thing that we can do is we can see if Hamina found a scope zone for us automatically. Let's go check on that. So I'll click on that, and notice that down here at the bottom it says auto scope found. And so you can see that it found this area around the school that it thinks that's probably where we want to have Wi-Fi. So I'm going to click accept on that. And there we go. Now we have our scope. I might clean this up a little bit on this particular map. I've seen this before. It doesn't perfectly follow the outlines here, but remember, it's in beta right now, so I think this is going to just continue to get better and better. There we go. I just moved those lines around a little bit, and that actually looks really good now. So yeah, I think we're now ready to do some basic planning on this. So I'm going to go to the access points tool, and let's go choose an access point vendor. Let's do Aruba today. So I'm going to go pick HPE Aruba. And let's do a bunch of 635s. I just got done hanging up 635s this week, so we'll add some of these. So there we go. I've chosen the 635, and now we have the ability to place up to 3 access points. So, this is good to just test it out and kind of see what the tool can do. So maybe I'll click to place one in this room here, and if you want, you can click and drag it to move it around, so we could decide exactly where we want to put it. I'm going to put it in this classroom right here. Maybe we'll put another one in this classroom here. You just click on the map to place it. And then let's go place another one over here on this side like that. So you can see that on something like a school or a building of this size, you'll run out of access points. But if you're doing something like your house or a small business or something like that, you can totally do that for free with Hamina Network Planner. Now, the other thing that we could do is we could also do some switch planning as well. So let's do that. I'm going to go to the switches, IDFs, and MDFs tool, and let's just place a switch in here. Let's do a little 24-port switch. Let's say that it's got 500 watts of PoE power available. That's a lot for a 24-port. Maybe it's going to be like 250. Yeah, like a 250-watt switch. And then we can place it on our map. Where should we put it? Let's put it in one of these closets, like maybe this closet, this little closet right here. So we'll just click right there, and there we go. Now we can see that our switch is placed there, and you can see these lines showing which access points are connected to which switches. And of course, you can move that switch around and experiment with some different locations for it. And we will also generate a power and cabling details report. So if you click on this, click on power and cabling details, it will show us how many feet or how many meters of cabling that we need to get the job done. Now, right now I've got meters set. So if we go to the preferences here, you can just switch it to feet right there. I'll switch it back to meters though. And you can see that we're looking at about 150 meters worth of cabling to cable all of these APs back to this switch. Now, another tool that you can use is the client view. I really like this tool. What it does is it simulates the band preferences and the roaming behaviors of certain client devices. In fact, you can select which client device you're using, and you'll see the roaming behavior will change based on that client's known roaming algorithms. So notice here as I drive this iPhone around all over the school, notice that it's always in the 2.4 gigahertz band. What's up with that? Well, for a school, we don't have the best coverage because we only have 3 access points to work with. Here's what things look like in the 2.4 gigahertz band. Let's go look at 5 gigahertz. And here's what the 6 gigahertz band looks like. So we're really doing the best in 2.4, and there's really not very good coverage in the 5 gigahertz band. So the iPhone is falling back to 2.4 when it needs to roam because that's the best signal strength that it can get. So let's do a little different scenario then. Let's bring this AP down here. So now we've got 3 APs here, and actually let's boost the transmit power for these APs as well. So I'm going to use the edit tool to click and drag to select these APs, and I'm going to click on access points here to filter down to them. So now we've got that one. Now we've got those APs selected. Let's boost the transmit power by approximately 4 dBs in every band. So we'll go to 10 in 2.4. We'll do 14 in 5 and 16 in the 6 gigahertz band. So there we go. We've definitely gone up quite a bit on our transmit power. Nothing crazy. Let's go back and use our client view. And now you can see that our iPhone is now on the 5 gigahertz band. And if we move from classroom to classroom, notice that now it's having a much happier time. It's now staying in the 5 gigahertz band. Okay, and then it proved me wrong instantly. The moment that I said that, it went to 2.4 because we're still lacking on our coverage just a little bit. But let's see if it'll go back to 5. There we go. That time it decided to roam to the 5 gigahertz band. So yeah, we probably would want to go up on our transmit power or, add a couple more APs or something like that to keep that from happening. But this is one of the things that you can do with Hamina Network Planner Lite. You can use the client experience tool to see how the client device is going to roam on your wireless network. All right, that's just a couple of quick things that you can do with Hamina Network Planner Lite. Now, if you use this and you like it and you decide like, yeah, I want to do bigger designs with this. I want to be able to have like unlimited projects and unlimited APs and all that stuff. You want to do more design work with it. Then you can buy it by going to the upgrade button here in the upper right. So when you click on upgrade, this is where you can basically select what you want to purchase. Another good place to look at this stuff is if you go to hamina.com/pricing. Let's try that again. Oh, 404. Well, here it is right here at the top. So it's hamina.com/pricing, or you can just click pricing at the top center of literally any page on our website. This will show you all the different products that we offer. There is a really nice comparison table here that will show you exactly what the capabilities of all these different products are. But it kind of breaks down into 2 separate product lines. First off, there's Planner Lite, which is what we've been using today. There's then Hamina Network Planner, which is our basically our base planning and designing tool. and that price is going up to $980 or 980 euros here in the middle of May. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe get in before then if you want to grab the cheaper pricing. And then Hamina Network Planner Plus adds a bunch of things like the live view. You can specify cable trays. You can do sloped floors and raised floors for auditoriums and things like that. And then it also does private cellular planning. So that's the planning side. Then there's the survey side, which is Hamina OnSite. This is an app that runs on an iPad or an iPhone. And then there is a survey device called the Osmium Nomad that you plug into that device or into your iPhone or iPad. And then you can walk around and make a site survey, take measurements to build a heat map of what's going on in the real world. So that's kind of two sides of the tool, the design tool, and then over on the survey side of the tool. And so if you want to buy those products, you can say, well, yeah, we're going to do Network Planner, so we'll add one seat of that. And then if you decide like, well, we really want to do site surveys as well, let's add Hamina OnSite and the Osmium Nomad, and then you can proceed to the checkout and do your purchase. And really, if you're using a credit card, you can be up and running with this in about 5 minutes with no limitations or anything like that at all. So that is a super quick introduction for how to use Hamina Network Planner Lite and what you can do with it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us for any kind of support-related stuff. You can reach us at support@hamina.com. If you have questions around sales, like generating purchase orders or specifics about pricing or anything like that, you can reach our sales team at sales@hamina.com. Thanks for checking out this video. Hope to see you in another Hamina video really soon. Bye now.